what's going on with H-1B. Turned on the news, watched the press conference that President Trump gave with, was his advisor the new director of, I
He's
don't
the
remember who
Commerce
was
Secretary,
speaking
I
with him.
think.
Commerce Secretary. I was like in such shock. I honestly wasn't paying attention. And then they gave this clarification initially that it was going to be $100,000 fee per year per
Yeah.
application. Since then, obviously things have changed. I'm sure everybody listening to this podcast to the show who is in the H-1B space is aware of what we know now. For us, I mean, we do H-1B compliance software, and two thoughts entered my head. One of them is, in a sense, this may be good for us. Not the fee. The fee is bad for, I think, almost everybody. There's this sort of Project Freedom that they put out, the Department of Labor, and so Project Firewall. I'm sorry, not Freedom, which is set to put a little bit of more meat behind or strength behind H-1B compliance. And so for us, we thought, all right, we do software for it. And so maybe this will be a good thing. On the other hand, we started talking to clients of mine who are law firms who work with, honestly, small companies that do a dozen H-1Bs a year to those that do many hundreds or thousands. And there was chatter about some companies maybe putting things on hold in terms of at least new H-1Bs. I talked to one law firm that talked to their client who said they're done. They said no more H-1Bs. Now, this might be an emotional response. The
Yeah.
H-1B process, especially for small businesses, is already fraught with uncertainty. There's the typical sort of lottery that they place their employees in. And if they're only looking to hire a few people, if you don't get those folks in the lottery, you don't have hundreds of other candidates to go with, you're screwed. And so that on top of this fee, I understand how small employers or smaller employers are saying forget about it. My hope is that from the perspective of our industry and also from the perspective of, frankly, the economy and the need for skilled talent, that this H-1B issue settles down, we get more clarity over the coming weeks and months, and hopefully it won't be as disruptive as indeed a $100,000 fee would be. And so maybe those companies will go back to it. But there's certainly been a lot of discussion of companies saying, we can't afford this. We have to stop this H-1B hiring process altogether.
Yeah. Another addition to annoying aspect of it is it's the small companies that for sure aren't abusing the system. They really need one person, one off in a rural area or something
Right.
like that, that get hit by it. But the big companies that are like mass doing it, that the people against H-1B program are against them, they're the ones who could afford to pay the fee and probably will chunks of them. Now, the business model of just having these companies just outsource H-1B workers, a couple of these IT companies that their job is just milk the system, and they're still work with big companies that'll pay the fee. So it's
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much you'll get to the goals that they had. Like a lot of the stuff they do on these laws, like it never gets the intended goal. It just hits other people that are like side players in it. I think this is gonna be much of the same.
Or it creates a news cycle. The one thing I wanted to bring up here, even though I know we were going to talk a little bit more about technology, but just because the H-1B fee issue is hitting a lot of different people, I was listening to a podcast the other day, yesterday actually,